the lube out of his ass.
Great first line. Let's go. And we're live. Perfect. Hello.
Wait. Wait.
I'm not
You
joking.
motherfucker, please don't tell me you caught that first line.
I did catch that exact line.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm like, alright, you both ready? Alright, I press live, and then you just hit him with the lube.
Listen, that was taken out of context. That's taken out
I
of
don't know
context.
what
That was
other
dumb
context
dirty.
there is. I'm pretty sure
Well,
this
it was
is all the
just it was
context
a
there is.
joking line. It was a joking line, you
Oh yeah,
fuck.
I mean, I didn't think that he was literally... Whatever.
Then you know. You
Whatever.
just hear
Whatever. Moving on. Anyways.
moving on anyway. Wait. Right in the chat, exclamation anyway.
Anyway. There we go.
Anyway.
Chat interaction. Still haven't fixed the chat, by the way. That's completely forgot that.
Motherfucker, I forgot. I completely forgot that too.
Yeah, me
You can
too,
do that
man.
now. You can do that
No,
now.
I don't.
You can do
I
that
have
now.
no fucking idea how. Because like all my chat boxes that I'm adding there are just not straight up not working.
Really?
Yes. Like every chat box I've ever added as a source does not work. We'll get it. We'll get it fixed. Surely.
Hopefully.
I'll write it down right now. I'll write it down so I don't forget.
Easy.
What is it? Get chat fixed. There you go. On my smart paper.
Smart paper? The fuck?
Yeah,
What
it's
kind
like
of bougie.
it's like a paper that you see, it is so advanced that I cannot even begin to explain. That's it.
Okay. I'm waiting for some grand explanation.
No. Wrong address, sir. Wrong address.
Fair enough.
Anyways, welcome to the first podcast.
Well, 5th podcast on Twitch, first on YouTube. We should specify.
Yes. Which is why I said fifth first.
I mean, yeah. When you say that, that means we've had a redo. We've had to redo our podcast like
We had five redos.
times.
We sucked so much at this, we had to do it 5 times.
I mean, I know.
Which basically, that's what it boils down to.
I
mean, the podcast. I mean, the podcast in and of itself were good, but first we didn't get the VOD to be saved until we found the setting, and then the next one was kind of meh.
Let's also not forget. Yeah, the second one was pretty meh. The fourth one was pretty meh. But let's also not forget that you were also on OBS the first 2 episodes, just OBS instead of Streamlabs OBS.
Yeah.
So it proved a little bit difficult to try and find where to save the VOD.
I mean, the VOD was a Twitch setting. It wasn't even in Streamlabs. In Streamlabs, I'm not doing that to my PC. My poor hard drives. My poor storage, man. Well, can I show this without it popping into my... Okay. It did pop into the stream, but it's fine. How much do I have? So I have a 1 terabyte SSD, a 300 gigabyte SSD. Sorry, 400 gigabyte. A 1.5 terabyte HDD and a 5 terabyte HDD.
Well, makes sense. Fair enough.
Yeah, and the 5 terabyte HDD is half full with videos.
Oh, okay, damn.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, damn. You should probably compress them into zip files.
I could do, especially the used ones. But that's a hassle to always add them, because pumping out content every day anyway.
I mean, you could do it like after a certain after X amount of gigabytes, you can just straight up.
Having a stroke.
Were you insulting me?
Yes. Yeah? What are you gonna do about it? Come here, you poor fucker.
I can spit on you across the screen and you can't do shit about it.
Yeah, when is that supposed to arrive with your ping, eh? Next week?
Yes.
It'll come when I least expect it.
Exactly. That's what she said. Anyway.
Wow.
So
I
the
like
opportunity had to go for it.
Anyways.
Anyway.
What are we doing here?
We're just talking.
Okay, cool. Okay, let me just rephrase that question, okay? Because this is the first podcast, as previously mentioned. People on YouTube that stumble over this in the year 2020. What year is it? 23?
2020.
In the year 2024, when we're an esports empire, they're gonna want to know. By next year, don't worry about it. We're on a good course. We're on a good track. Yeah, I know it's laughably long. Like, right? I think we can do it this year.
I hope, at least, if things go right.
No, but the people will.
For an introduction.
Listen, I am the captain now. I ask the questions.
So yes, yes is my yes is.
So
the
anyway, how about an
TLDR
introduction after? Just kidding. Just kidding.
No, you're good. So for the
what the fuck is Odnhus? There you go. That's your question.
Odnhus is the fucking yeah. Okay. So for those of you who will see this on YouTube at any time in the future, presently or anytime in the future, I should say. Hello. We are Odnhus. We are only 3 of the founding members, but I'd say we are the main head of the entire organization or association under Swedish law, of course. There will be times where I will mix up the terminology of association and organization because, like, legally speaking, in Sweden, we are an association, even though we are a esports team. We are an esports team, rather. And yeah, basically to kick it off, as I said, we're an esports team. I am Manic Miguel. Otherwise, you can call me either or. And I am the main founder of the organization. Here
hey,
is
listen,
Omar.
While we're on the topic of introductions and names, do you mind recapping why Manic? Oh, sorry, M4 Nick.
For fuck's sake. I hate every time I hear it, I cringe.
Want to explain where that comes from?
It sounds like a fucking bootleg version of the M4. Anyway,
it's your whenever you fail, like your words are hard.
Yeah, I nicked him with my M4.
Yeah, basically.
Well, to explain my nickname, I recently had this nickname actually for over like a year or two. I haven't been officially known as Manic up until like 2020. So a year or two, like late 2020 is when I made the nickname, and it was a derivative of one of my friends calling me Manic while I was playing with them, like online on Modern Warfare 2019, to be specific. And I was like, huh, that name stuck to me. So I changed my gamer tag on my Xbox profile. Yes, it started on Xbox. I changed my profile username to Manic, but instead of placing it with an A, I replaced it with a 4. So then I'm easier to find with my friends because
and it's
they
also
don't
cooler.
Really, yeah,
the A was taken.
Like regular Manic was taken, and then Manic with like the underscore between M and A was taken, and then the underscore between I and C was taken. So I just said, fuck it. So I just came up with that one, and
underscore
now it was
after underscore between I and C.
Yeah.
So man.
He got sucker punched somewhere there.
Manic.
Manic. That's what it is.
Omar, do you
Like
want to
B
explain
underscore
Siam or
Pisa.
Pism
Pisa.
Well,
as previously?
it all started when I changed my profile picture to Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to have American Psycho as my username. And then Mark's girlfriend gave me Pissam, so I started using it.
Okay, for context of that little inside joke, for the longest time, like it took us a
It was
few hours to
yeah.
convince
You say
Omar that he
longest time.
spelled it
You say
correctly.
longest time, but it's been like half a day max.
I mean, shit, that's a long time because if you didn't know, his name was spelled as Pysam. So it lent itself to be read as Pissam, and I didn't notice it until Mark's girlfriend pointed it out. So I'm like, wait a second. I double checked his name. It's like, oh yeah, it is Pissam. So I
Wow.
told Omar to change it. Omar changed it, but changed it to Pissam again.
Yep.
So
Happens to the
that's
best
the
of us.
context for the inside joke. Yes,
Yeah.
and the fool, Mark. Let us hear your story to the
Listen,
name the fool.
listen. I'm not in a cult, but
I
no,
am.
it just comes from the tarot card, the Fool, because I think that the meaning behind it and all that stuff is pretty cool. Ironically, to keep the cult topic, my old religion teacher gave me like the idea for it, because he was like talking about the tarot cards and all the meanings and stuff, and I'm like looking into it, and I read the meaning of the card the Fool, and I'm like, hey, that's me. All right, that's me now. Okay, cool.
Looks at the tarot card and says, "Bet."
Bet. Yeah. Vibing, bro.
That's the end all be all. You see how easy it is to come up with gamer names, people. That's how
Yeah.
easy it is.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Yeah,
But
no.
to continue the explanation, we were recently founded last year towards the actually extreme late of the year around December 15 to be exact is when we officially became an association under Swedish law. And for a little bit more context of why we were founded so late was because we were initially founded on June of last year in the summer. June of last year, I forgot specifically when, but that was to make ourselves more official. That was to get the papers out of the way and all the legal stuff to do with our assigning of our organization number. And we did that in our base city of Trelleborg, rather home city, the organization's home city of Trelleborg. And we originally had five founding members, and the story behind that was we were literally all just friends who wanted to start something, get the ball rolling, get our own kind of workflow going. And so we started that. Us five, including Omar, and there's one more, Jakob, who was in a podcast episode but could not make it today, unfortunately. And
Rest in peace. No, he's not dead. He's not
no,
dead.
no, no,
He's
he's
not
not
dead.
dead. Hold on. Hold. He isn't on Discord. He's not online for now because I think, if I remember correctly, he told me last time that he was working today. I could be wrong. I could check up on him later. But yeah, he is busy today, so he could not make it. But he is one of the founding members, the original founding members. And out of us five, there's only three remaining, which is me, Omar, and Jakob, as I
Also,
said.
rest in peace. No, they're
No, they
also
did
not
not die
dead.
either. They were young. We were all really really young people coming into this. So the other two we had to let go because they didn't have really the same passion as we did, and they weren't as focused on it as we were. But we actually met with one of them again. Mark, you may actually not know this, but Dominic is one of the founding members, the
Oh,
original founding members.
interesting.
Yeah,
I did not know
he
that.
used to be one of the founding members, and because he moved to Svedola, the school up there in that city, he he didn't really have that same drive nor passion, and it was proving really hard for us to balance our time with each other.
Yeah, I mean,
So we ended up
especially with
letting
that,
him go and the other one.
especially with that distance in between. I want to cut him some saying like interests change, like interests can change pretty quickly, and like when things get, I say serious, but it's still like it's not that we're like a super serious like business out for profit or anything. This is a passion project in the end. But like it's like when things get real, that's probably a better way of phrasing it. When things get real, people get cold
Mm-hmm.
feet usually, and I wouldn't really hold it against him personally. It's yeah. People are just like over. No, think again. Think twice about things
They
when they
overthink.
actually, yeah, they overthink or think twice about things when they actually start happening.
Mm. Well, that's not the case with Dominic. I think with Dominic, the reasoning was because he had a different interest compared to us, which in of itself is okay. We just had to let him go because like it wasn't proving well. We weren't working along each other, and one of us at the time was finding it really pointless to come alongside us and help us. So we just decided, okay, here's what we can do. We just let these guys go, find new founding members, get them in, and let's start it again. We also were originally founded with the help of the municipality, but that proved a little bit shy. We have our own, me and Omar have our own little gripes with them, but we're not going to mention that because that one is a
Uh,
little bit on the more personal side slash professional side that we don't really
yeah,
want to
that's
get
okay. No
into,
need
and it
to.
will,
Yeah, no need to out
yeah.
people here. Like, keep it
Yeah,
classy.
we're not
Keep it
really
classy.
outing. We're not really outing, but it's just to say that there are problems, and it's just a proof that sometimes where you are, where you want to found something, it isn't really the proper place. Sometimes you have to go beyond that, and that is a lesson we had to learn. I think that was a very valuable lesson, and I'm still very thankful for that. That experience in of itself helped us pave this way forward, coming to where we are now. And yeah, that was pretty much a rough patch. June, July, that summer, it proved really, really hard for us to try and get anything out of the
To
water,
get
because
started
so
in
to
the
speak.
first place, yeah.
Yeah,
Because like that didn't happen
yeah,
till
it
basically
proved really hard.
recently.
It didn't happen until recently because, like, on my case, I was the only one at that time who had a working PC, aside from Jakob, of course, who was willing to stream and all that. And I started streaming on my personal channel, trying to gain some traction, and then I wanted to flow that into here. And it was proving not so difficult, especially because like at the time we had like a broadband router. But now there is a reason why I'm saying this now, because like recently I really wish I was more on the front lines when it came to streaming, because we have a mobile network router which isn't proving the best. And apparently, I'm not gonna say what specifically, but apparently it was according to our area, which is why it's being shitty, which I find it hard to believe. I really do. And it's probably just one of the, I could throw around my theories all the time, but I'm not gonna do that for now. Right now, it's more of the case that I can't do it because I have bad internet connection. Like right now, all I can do is just sit and talk because I can't really play online properly. And Omar, not Omar, sorry,
Which, by the
Mark
way, is
actually
where
experienced
the
that.
jokes we did at the start of the podcast comes from with the ping. As because he always,
Yeah,
whenever we game, if we ever, it's like his ping just steadily like rises from like the later it gets in the evening, the more his ping just keeps rising to the point where it's unplayable with a 999 ping, aka the game is not able to show anymore how high his ping is. And that's where that joke comes from. So his lines actually in this podcast are also like pre-recorded because it's easier that way. Because otherwise we'd be having to wait 10 seconds for a reply from him.
Bro. Fuck you for that.
No, I'm kidding.
Me
I'm
and my
kidding.
high ping are going to sue you. Defaming me.
Oh, Jesus Christ. On top of the entire legal time, now adds the ping. I'm gonna be dead before we get a judgment.
But on a more serious note, that is the main reason why I really wish I was more active on my Twitch channel and even my YouTube channel. I have my own personal stuff, but I just can't because of the high ping. I'm unable to perform at my highest. I'm unable to perform at my peak capability, if people can even call it that, because I just can't handle having a high ping when you're playing a game that's reaction time based, if in any game that you play like CS:GO, Rainbow Six, or Call of Duty, these games require good reaction time if you want to be able to top yourself and be top of the leaderboard, or and gun skill, of
Dude,
course,
bro,
but that's a whole other thing.
Since I'm streaming CS occasionally, or well, actually pretty often, I have noticed my ping went up from like 30, or like even lower. Like sometimes it's 15 when it's a Swedish server. It went up to consistently 60 while streaming. The difference between that, even though 60 is a very playable ping and totally like almost like average online, the difference between those two, that jump is so massive. It's so massive. I feel like I've never touched CS in my life when I play on 60 ping. Like, it's so bad.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I can only
This
imagine.
man
Like,
is
yeah.
so privileged. This man is so privileged to have 15 to 30
I have
ping.
suffered.
Meanwhile,
I have suffered for years with bad internet. I deserve this.
bro,
You're in the suffering
all
phase.
my life in the Philippines.
You're in the suffering phase.
No,
Once you go out, once
okay.
you get out of it, you will never want to go back, and you'll fight for it. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm fighting for my goddamn privilege.
Okay. Let me pull it back a bit and to say I am not in my suffering phase. I am always constantly in it. So you cannot say I'm in the phase. First off, but that needless to say, I've started this basically how Odnhus came as a thing was because in the Philippines where I originally live before moving to Sweden, I began starting this little streaming that's coming along, and I could pull some viewers. But of course, my viewership was very niche because the people I'm streaming to, whenever I not advocated, sorry, advertised it, wrong usage of term, but whenever I advertised it on my Facebook and on my Twitter and whatnot, I don't really have that traction, and I'm not really known in my personal life, at least, as the most outgoing person. So people finding me streaming was a bit odd to them, I would say. So not many came by. I'm happy though that the few friends that I did have that stuck around are watching, and they're still like proceeding to follow this journey and asking me how it's going and all that. So this started from initially a solo stream going into this more build up of a I want to start a professional career out of esports. And I got into the esports scene almost immediately, I would say, all the way all because of Modern Warfare 2019 when I first watched my first ever CDL stream, or the Call of Duty League stream, and that's how the idea for Odnhus came to fruition. Because if you look at the team rosters, actually recently Paris Legion was made into Vegas Legion, and some of the French players I think did. I could be completely wrong about this. I don't really know Paris Legion by heart because I don't follow them. I follow more like Optic, 100 Thieves, those guys. So I that's one European team that's no longer in the international scene in Call of Duty. We have London Royal Ravens, which is the only European team, and I would like to add another European team, and that's us coming from Sweden. Hopefully, at least we would be able to, because right now, as things stand, it's not hard, but the training is going to be difficult,
It's time,
especially
time.
time consuming.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, time consuming. It's going to be time consuming because, first off, in order to actually get into the Call of Duty League itself, challengers is what you need to go to. And once you're recognized in challengers, you can go into the main stage, the actual Call of Duty League. But in order to actually do that, you need to be on controller, and it's either we train on controller, which is not going to be hard on itself. There is a training regimen that I am going with to practice on controller as much as possible, and it's one that was made to cater towards whatever playstyle you are going for. So for example, my playstyle without the lag is aggressive, and I love like challenging people around corners. I love going into these gunfights that I can take.
Before I go
And
into the
so,
nitty gritty, there is, on this note, why Sweden? Is it just because we all live here?
well,
Oh
that,
shit.
and I have a better opportunity here than I was to have if I were in the Philippines. Like, it's
Oh
my
yeah,
home
definitely.
country. I love it. I love it so much. I love my people, but it's just not the place where I can put it in. One, because the entire esports scene is not so fundamentally grounded yet, at least at the time when I was there, because esport wasn't being recognized as a sport yet. It wasn't until my last year of gymnasiet. For people who don't know, here in Sweden, they don't have this senior, junior years. They have gymnasiet, which is basically the senior years, and the junior years are 7 to 9, years 7 to 9. On my case, in the Philippines, we have senior high school, which is the last stage of your school life before moving into university slash college. So I was in senior high school, which was my last year before graduating, which would put me in year 12, which was the last time I ever heard something about esports in the Philippines before the pandemic struck. And that was during the sports. It was we called it an intramurals. I don't know what it would be called properly. I guess sports festival would be the more proper term.
Sounds about
But
right.
yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, I'm not crazy.
No, no, no.
But moving on from that,
Not more than usual.
there was a yeah, not more than usual. I agree with you there. But there was a Mobile Legends. If again, for those who don't know, Mobile Legends is a popular AO. That was a popular MOBA. If you know what LOL is, you know what a MOBA is. But I guess everyone knows LOL, right? I hope.
Surely. Surely
Surely.
people know by now what LOL
Le-
is.
League, League of Legends and
Oh,
Dota. Let's just say that.
yeah, I was about to say,
It's
let's not
basically
forget about the small brother. Oh, that's gonna offend people.
that's gonna offend
That's
people
gonna
so
offend
much.
people. Whatever. I'm not in either of those, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I'm not in either of those either. Don't you worry. I tried League once, never touched it again.
I barely played the tutorial and I hated it so much. Like I see
Yeah,
why it's rage inducing.
yeah, I can see why too. But in in other words, if you know what Dota, League of Legends, Smite, if you know what those games are, then you know that Mobile Legends is a phone version of it. It's basically like League on the phone, like Chinese bootleg
Yeah,
League,
phone
I would
games are
say.
so huge in the Asian region, like esports wise.
Yeah,
It's insane.
yeah.
Like
Esports wise,
it's
it's
like
very known.
this whole
It's its own
category.
community in of its own.
Yeah, and it just flies over the heads of every European and American. Like, why is there no one here talking about how massive the mobile esports industry is in Asia? It's insane. It's absolutely crazy.
Oh, coming to that actually, that actually you segued it into my story really smoothly actually, because when I left Philippines, that's when I begin hearing that esports, not only on the mobile scene but in on the PC scene as well, it's becoming more and more of a prevalent thing in Southeast Asia, specifically in the Philippines. I'm not saying that it's only there. I'm just saying that it's beginning to grow where my home country is, and I'm proud of that because I am a big fan of esports. I love it so much. The competitive energy, the drive, and everything. It's such a good thing to have. It reminds me of how passionate people can become over football or over American football, rugby, badminton, tennis, golf, even if you were to say. But
And now Miguel
going
is
off of the sidetrack, yeah, going off of the sidetrack,
yeah, like talking.
I'm
Yeah,
actually.
I'm taking that goalpost and I'm running with it, right? Um,
Mhm.
golf commentators, low key, fire.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like this perfect mix of if something insane happens, they're super funny, but generally, like how they commentate is just so monotone but solid at the same time. It's like this
Yeah,
odd
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like this odd mix of like insanely funny and like also insanely like almost skillful.
Yeah, it's almost like they take themselves too seriously. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like there's you know how they talk? They talk like they're standing right next to the hitter, to the golfer,
Yeah, yeah,
and they
yeah.
have to be like quiet so the golfer does stay focused. And I believe that's how it started, that style of commentating. Don't quote me on this, but I believe that's why they're quiet, because they were like standing on the sideline and the golfer um has to like focus,
The
so
golfer
they
has to
have to,
punt it.
yeah, they have to like be quiet so the golfer doesn't lose focus. But nowadays they're all in a booth and they're still commentating like that.
It's so nice. It's so nice. But moving away from that little tangent, we're going to now go into my main story here, and it's actually esports in of itself is actually becoming a career now recognized in Southeast Asia, and you can educationally or academically, I should say, to be more formal, academically you can pursue esports as a course, as a college program. I think it started somewhere in Japan or Korea. Do not quote me on this. Take my words with a grain of salt in terms of origin, but it's going to become more and more of a developing thing, and it's basically there in Southeast Asia now. The fundamentals are there. You can actually learn how to become a professional coach, how to become a professional player and whatnot from school, which is massive, honestly, for the kids who don't know if they want to become an engineer or if they want to become a doctor, kids who don't know what to go for. Essentially, this becomes almost like a scapegoat for them. If not a scapegoat, it becomes an option to them to pursue it as a career, and not only will they have fun, they will also learn how to basically manage themselves, learning the disciplines of esports, which is fundamentally the same as like regular sports, just taken online. It's such a good thing to
Which
see for
makes it
me, at least as
fundamentally
a
different,
student.
but
I mean,
no, it's
fundamentally speaking, it's different because it's online, but in a way, it's very
yeah,
similar.
it's still competitive. It's like comparing classic sports with chess. It's kind of like the
Yeah,
same type of like comparison. The chess is a sport. Esports is a well, I would qualify esports more as like esports. I wouldn't necessarily put it under sports, but it's like the same deal with chess, isn't it? It's like there's been this
yeah,
discussion about, is it actually a sport? If not, what is it? So it's like it's kind of like the
yeah,
same with esports. Like people discuss like, is it a sport or is it its own thing? Because it's so huge and so deep and so vast. It's like it can just be, esports can't just be esports without being classical sports. There's discussion to be
yeah.
had.
Yeah, we're not gonna take deep dive into the psychological factor of it, or the what it's on the
not
tip of my tongue.
psychological, but theoretical, I guess.
Theoretic. There's one word. We're beginning with the P. Beginning with the P. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, mine too. I know what word you mean, man. Oh, what the fuck it's
Yeah,
called?
yeah.
P- penis.
Okay. Reset the count.
I don't think dropping the word
Yes.
penis is reset counter worthy. Another inside joke new to the
penis is on the
YouTube
tip of my tongue.
community.
Yes.
We have an inside joke.
This counter that we're talking about, it's this metaphysical counter is what we call the cancel counter, the cancel timer, or
Counter,
the cancel
stopwatch.
We're basically timing how long it takes before we start saying some fuck shit, you know.
Yes. And we have not gone through a podcast episode yet without resetting it, so let's just speak for itself.
This is new. It's not psychological. Ah, fuck it. It's on the tip of my tongue. I'll remember it by the end of the podcast.
Yeah. It's fine. Once it's over, you'll remember. In the shower.
In the shower while taking a bath later tonight. Yeah. I'll be like, oh shit, Mark. Edit this in.
Edit it. No, but
clip it and ship it. But moving on.
What makes Sweden also such a great place to be right now, especially right now as an esports org, is first of all, there's not a lot of competition. There's NIP up north. There's Godsend places. I think Göteborg we found out. I'm not sure. And there's no big noticeable esports org we know of. At least I could be completely mistaken. We know of.
We could be completely mistaken.
Yeah. In southern Sweden, and there's this. First of all, there's a massive gap here. There's a massive gap here for like an esports org in just Malmö adjacent Skåne entirely, basically, where we can fit right in essentially. And on another note, esports in Sweden isn't big yet, but the demand is kind of growing. Because
the demand is there.
Yeah, the demand is there, but there's not enough products to satisfy it. Supply. Thank you. I'm getting my economy stuff mixed up.
No worries. I actually talked to the main guys who took us in, like Esports United. So, for those who I think we should explain this now, is we are based in Sweden, so we are basically a totally baby organization in association, I should say, in Sweden. Baby. We are basically a baby association in Sweden. Nobody knows of us yet, other than the municipalities we talk to, which is Trelleborg and Malmö. Malmö being the bigger one over Trelleborg, because they actually handled things like this last year. I think around December, November of last year, they held a League of Legends tournament in Malmö Arena, which was huge. Lots of people were there, and it was a fun time. And when I saw that advertisement, my eyes lit up, because that's where I want our team to be in. So we're also, to our knowledge, we are also the first esports team who's going actively online in Sweden.
Yes.
I don't
to my knowledge as well.
Godsend, to my knowledge.
Godsend is, for me personally, is flying so under the radar. Like they're big, but I don't know why. Ever since they dropped out of CS, I mean they're back in it now, but ever since they dropped out the first time out of CS, I just never heard a thing of them.
It seems like they're going they're going ghost, basically.
Yes. NIP is a bit better. NIP is a bit better, but it's like this corporate bullshit content of like, oh, let's interview a player and ask him a generic question like, where is your nickname coming from? We're doing the same. But they're not really going. They're not really they're not really that transparent.
Fair enough. Yeah. I really want to hit more of the, if you guys are wondering why we're saying this now, it's because our goals is to basically go for the more North
Beat the
American
shit out
approach
of
to
them.
the esport. We tiny, we get shit on.
Yeah. Now, long-term
But
goals, long-term goals.
long-term goals. But our goal right now is to
You
practically
know it would be straight
reach our
fire
way. What?
if I clip this and I add nip in the next short.
Please no. Please no. This is not something we want right now.
Every publicity is good
Anyway,
publicity.
I'm going to steer the conversation away from
Yes,
this.
yes.
Anyway, the reason why we're saying this right now is because our goal as of late is to reach our, rather is to reach out into the international scene, because to our knowledge and from research that we have conducted and from things we have heard from other places in here in Sweden, there is no really big events that are catered towards esports here in Sweden aside from DreamHack. What we want to do,
A little bit more specific. No grassroots stuff. It's like there's of course
yeah,
bigger stuff. There's DreamHack Malmö's, Stockholm, like you mentioned. But DreamHack is even DreamHack Open is like tier 2-ish. So it's
tier 2, tier 1.
yeah, more towards tier 2, but you find the odd tier 1 team there, of course. But so and that is still tip of the iceberg, not a top 10% type teams. It is no real stuff for people that have just started out or that want to like dabble their toes in esports, or that want to like think of taking it serious. There's no real place or stuff for that, especially locally.
Mm-hmm. And our goal is to definitely reach that local audience, touch the hearts of the younger people who do have that kind of skill, because I know
Ew.
for sure that there are men, women, in the men, women, whatever else you can identify as. I know that they exist out here in
I'm
Sweden
not
that
going to make a joke
want
here.
don't that want to
He said we're touching
show
hearts
that
of
they have
children.
skill. Can you not fucking talk while I'm talking? For fuck's sake.
First time he said something, it's like, why, how dare you, dog? How fucking dare you?
Because it's focusing on children.
Fair enough. For legal reason, that was a joke. Not just for legal reason.
For
It was,
legal
it was
I
just
figured,
a joke.
I figured the joke that Mark was gonna make was gonna be about what Miguel said about the kid.
I was gonna make no, I'm not even gonna say it. There's cancel counter reset, and then there's career reset, right? The joke I was about to make was career reset.
I think we should edit it out of the VOD when we post it to YouTube. Okay.
Okay, timestamp. It's fine, truly, it's
Timestamp.
fine. No one's gonna dig this up in 10 years. Take it
I
out
found
of
the clip of
context.
X and X doing so and so.
Yep.
We gotta save this VOD. We gotta save this VOD.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but
going into the main point, I want to offer this Odnhus as archiving for later.
Yep.
Okay.
Got us.
Okay. Undead Dan has got us. Fuck. Anyway, I'm going to this whole spiel now about more of the passionate side of why I created Odinhus. This is basically a place where I want these people who don't have the means to share their skills in, and I want them to take it, put it out there, and make use of it, because I know that there are people out there, here in Sweden in particular, that have the skill, that have the time, that have the dedication and patience to do this esports thing, or this competitive thing, or content creation even, as a totally different form of business here in Sweden, because I don't think here in Sweden we don't have this content creator mindset. It's more of a like, oh, it's either office jobs or working for high end, corporate suits or working for TV networks and whatnot. But content creator, you don't really hear that here in Sweden so much because it's either they are really, really small, or when they're trying to reach this like wider audience, it's not fully reaching out, if that's making sense, because the local base here in Sweden isn't so big.
On that
Unlike,
on that
let's say,
on that note, if you could choose,
hmm?
what esports to go into, like as in games, what's your pick? I mean obviously COD, but any other?
Oh yeah, there are lots of games that I find that are really fun into esports. One is Call of Duty, because here in Sweden, I have to explain this one before going into what I'm going to go into. Here in Sweden, there are a lot of esports games that are the most basic esports games you can think of. Like when you think about esports, you normally think, oh, StarCraft, League of Legends, Dota, CS:GO, those kind of games, right? That Super Smash Bros and Rocket League on top of that too. But
Even though they are
that's the thing
already
here in
edging,
Sweden.
like
Yeah,
okay, maybe edging is
that
not the
that's
right word
that's
in
the
this
one.
context, but
Bro.
but they're they're
Ru-
they're like on the verge of mainstream esports, if that's like the right wording. Because they people know about it, but people don't really know about the esports scene. But it's like it's just below the point where people know about it.
exactly. It's tipping it. It's like circling that rim of known. So what's going on here in Sweden is that League of Legends and CS:GO, Super Smash Brothers, and the Rocket League are some of the biggest esports games here in Sweden. More leaning towards CS:GO and League of Legends. I'll get into that in a bit, but those are the primary esports games here in Sweden. But when you search up for local tournaments, there's none that's really being advertised. There's no like smaller tournaments for the local people to gather together or maybe form local teams that could go into esports games. So what I want to do is that I want our organization to push forward the agenda that there are more esports games out there that are super fun to play, that have a healthy community behind them, and have good energy behind them. For example, as Mark said, one of the esports games that I wanted to get into is Call of Duty. It's one of the more basic 4v4 competitive games. You need the knowledge of how to play the game, you need the knowledge of weapon smarts and all that, the gun
But it's
skill,
easy to pick
all
up
of
in the
that is
end.
needed. Yeah, it's easy to pick up in the end, and also because it's 4v4, you only need four people on one team, four people on the other, a codcaster, and that's it. Tada, you're good to go. That's basically what's needed in order to do a Call of Duty tournament. Now, how I'm saying it is really easy, but it's easier said than done. Setting up an esports tournament requires a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of energy. And this actually also leads me into another esports game that I want to take in. That is, I want to put Rainbow Six Siege to the limelight of the Swedish esports. According to some of the people that we have met, me and Omar, we have heard that Rainbow Six is beginning to be a prominent one here in Sweden, but it's dying down. The audience for it here, if I can remember my metrics correctly, I could be entirely wrong, but take my word with a grain of salt when it comes to statistics and metrics. But from what we have heard, it seems to be a very prominent, and the interest is there. Someone just needs to drive it home, drive it forward,
Yeah,
and
hit the
I
ball.
want to enter exactly, and I want to enter the Rainbow Six scene because I have played the game myself. I know the game. I have basically been playing it to the point that I know how to do certain things, counteract certain operators and whatnot. I'm not saying that I'm totally professional. No. Have you looked into Rust?
What the fuck
Ah,
is esports Rust? Okay, now I'm actually genuinely curious There's a Rust esports community? No shot.
I'm searching this. I'm searching this one.
Oh my god, there is. What?
Oh my god, there is.
Oh my god, there is.
Is it solo? How do you play this? Holy shit. Oh my god, I'm picking that up. Akers, get ready. We're hiring you as a competitor. Let's fucking go.
Well, I guess we have something new on the roster? Question mark.
We're looking.
You
We're
guys know
looking
what game
at
we should have?
Yeah.
You guys know the game called Muddy Heights?
What's that?
Why?
Muddy Heights?
Why?
Google.
Of all things.
I'm
No,
googling.
Mark, save your Google. Save your Google tab. I'm
What
going to
the
explain you
fuck
what
is
Muddy
this?
Heights is. Yeah, okay, never mind. He didn't listen.
Explain for the
Bruh.
audience.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Muddy Heights is basically a shit game. I'm saying this in the most literal way I can. I'm not saying it's bad. It's a literal shit game where you're going to have to play as a guy crapping from a rooftop and trying to get the most damage with your shit as you can take. You think I'm joking? Look at some gameplay. I shit you not. But anyway,
What was the name again?
It is Muddy Heights.
Muddy Heights Esports.
It's on Steam. It's on Steam. Please no, we are not doing that.
Okay, Google doesn't
We
say
are
it
not-
exists.
We
Time
are
to
not
invent
about
it.
we are not about to become a bastion for shooting on people as a competitive sport. We are not about to become
Literally.
that bastion.
Okay, fine.
We are not gonna
God
become
damn
that
it. CEO,
bastion.
Mom said no, okay.
There are games that need to stay in its casualness. There's
Yes,
games that need to
I
stay in its
agree.
casualness.
I
We're going to let it
agree.
be like
And then there's game who need
We-
to reach new heights. Ha! Yeah. You get that?
Okay, Mark is officially off the roster.
You can't fire me. I quit.
Even better. Anyway,
Now we're on the
Anyway.
topic of what the fuck is our humor even? Do you mind?
yeah,
Because we
Our
we keep
humor
we said multiple
is-
times by now throughout the podcast that we're young people, but do you mind clarifying?
yeah. So in all of our glory, we are young adults to say the least. The youngest one is 18 and the oldest one is 23. Jakub being 18, Mark being 23, I am 21, Omar is 20. We are pretty much starting this from ground zero. And
Wait, I'm 23.
we do have other
Am I
founding
23 or am I 24?
sake, bruh.
I keep forgetting my age. I
For
swear.
all intents and purposes, we are going to call you 23 for the stream.
Okay, fine.
At least until
fine.
next year.
Okay.
At least until next year. So, temporarily speaking, Mark is 23.
I mean, temporarily speaking, everyone is temporarily some age.
Yeah, but currently you are 23. Currently, I'm 21. Omar is currently 20. And
Oh.
for all intents and purposes, our humor is 23 in Swedish years. For all
What does that
intents
even
and
mean?
purposes. I don't know. It's just funny. 23 in Swede years. So
Different metrics being used here.
if you count, if you count, you are four. No, you're 3.5 in dog years.
What? That's not. No. That's not how dog years work. I'd be like not even a year old.
No, isn't one dog year equals 7? No. We're not about to talk
What's
into
one
this shit.
dog
No, let me
year?
track it back.
He has to be. Wait, he's 2 years old in dog age.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah. 15 humans year equal to the first year of medium-sized dog's life.
Medium-sized. How about the average?
The average is medium. What are you talking about?
I mean, you could have a medium
It's
dog
the
breed, but then it dies in like
middle.
6 years.
Medium is the middle.
Fuck it. I'm not about to, like I said, I'm not about to get into this bullshit. Anyway, I'm going to immediately
Stir it back. Stir it back.
Yeah, I'm gonna start up the pot. Where was I? Fuck. Okay. For all intents and purposes, our sense of humor is very mixed. We don't really have a proper sense of humor. Our sense of humor is either dry, sarcastic, witty, dad jokes, fart jokes. It's all over the place. We are basically like a tequila. No, not a tequila. Sorry. What the fuck is that drink?
A cocktail.
No, I'm thinking about a cocktail. There we go. We're basically a cocktail of different sense of humors. I knocked my knuckle into my desk. Ow. We're a cocktail of different kinds of sense of humor, and it can get pretty chaotic. Let's just say it can get pretty chaotic if we don't organize ourselves and we just start laughing about every little thing. For example, Wilson. I don't know. You see
Wilson.
Wilson. We're our sense of humor is broken. Just let's just sum it up as that.
On a note of broken humor, who would win in a free for all? Omar, me, or you?
In a free for all?
In a free for all. I'll
know. Depends on what kind of free for all.
Just free for all. Everything goes. We're going outside like right now. Who wins?
Me, for sure.
What do you mean? I'll knock you the fuck out.
Mark, I'm gonna be honest with you.
I will.
Your lanky ass is about to fucking fly into the river. If
my
you try
lanky ass will whip your ass.
To be fair,
yeah, bro.
To be fair, I'm the most athletic person in this group.
You and Mark, I'd say, match each other in athleticism.
Listen, how I see it go.
Wait, no. You say me and Mark match athleticism?
Yeah, like what are you talking about? I'm like double the size.
Sports players. Both of you are like sports players. You play basketball, he plays volleyball. That doesn't make you too unathletic.
I mean, okay, listen. So how I see this going, right? Is I think me and Miguel go on each other's throat, and then Omar will just come in last and like get.
Yeah, third party.
Yeah, get third party win. I see that happening. Win,
like the
yeah, I see that happening. Like him just holding back, letting other people tire themselves out, and I just come in and smack everyone.
It's roundhouse everything like a fucking tornado.
Yeah. Dunk on him.
I was about to make a dunk on him, as the cool kids say. I was about to make a League of Legends joke, but because probably Omar isn't familiar with League of Legends, I don't want to say it because it feels really awkward.
Actually, I am familiar. I've been playing Wild Rift for some time.
Oh, you play? Oh, okay. Well, then you know Darius from League of Legends?
Oh, that's where I'm gonna have to cut you off. I don't know characters' names.
Okay, yeah, no, that's exactly what I was. That's exactly what I was going for. I was going to make
I don't know
a League of Legends joke with a character. So that's where I was gonna cut it off. But anyway, as I was saying, all of our senses of humor is broken. We are a cocktail of different personalities, and I have BPD. Thank you. No, I'm not. I'm joking. I
for legal reasons, this is a joke.
For legal reasons and medical reasons, for legal and medical, I am completely sane, and this is a joke.
Okay, so we just the org technically exists already since mid last year. That's when the plans. Yeah, that's when like the plans were like really like solidified. We are officially an organization since last year.
Association will be the more proper term under Swedish law.
Yeah,
we can't be an organization until we have like two separate bodies.
Okay, so we're
Does that make sense?
Legally, we're an association only since last year. I say last year, but what it actually means is just before Christmas. So
10 days before Christmas.
10 days before Christmas, exactly. He's got it in his calendar. as a proper CEO
Yeah.
should, never losing things like the logo or anything.
Hey, listen, bro. That one time, one fucking time.
I'll never let this go. I'll never let this go. The time I asked you for the company logo and you just straight up lost it. I'll never let this go, man. This is just too funny.
That original logo was ass anyway. Okay, so
It was old school. It was old school.
No, I can agree that
retro.
it was awful. It was just
Ah.
whoever made it should like.
You know what? It looks like a local.
Omar, it was you and me who made that logo. So are
That's
you
what I
telling
mean.
me?
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. You should just erase each other from Earth.
Don't worry, I'll take
Straight
care of the
up.
org. Mark from marketing will handle this.
The new
Mark from
logo is
market-
much better.
Yeah, Mark from marketing will now become Mark from CEOing.
It's Mark from CEOing. That sounds like an injury.
I split my CEO.
I have a mark on my CEO.
That sounds
That
so
sounds awful.
bad.
You have like 3 years to live now.
The doctor said I got a mark on my CEO. I don't know what to do.
Oh no, he's so young.
It's worse than
Anyways.
pulling a hamstring.
Anyways, right, we organization since December, like association since December officially. But what actually have we done the last couple of months? Like, what do we already have? Go fire out of all cylinders. Who have we talked to?
Out of all cylinders.
Yeah,
okay,
out of all cylinders. Who have we talked to? What do we have?
We have a total of 750 members.
Okay,
we
so
already
okay,
got-
listen,
okay. Stop the brakes. Hold the
Okay.
brakes.
Stop firing out of all cylinders. It took you a total of 3 seconds.
When he said fire out of all cylinders, he meant the real one, not the mega one.
The real one,
But,
yeah.
The real one. So, as of late, since the formation of, are we talking about since December or since like halfway mark of last year?
I mean generally. So like
Generally
for
speaking,
example,
okay.
the Focus Who's thing, or like yeah,
Okay,
who
let
we
me-
got
let me-
supporting
let
us
me
and
start
stuff.
this over. So, in terms of actually like reaching out, we have reached out to a lot of people. We have reached out to OLW, which is a local chips factory here in Sweden, and not chips factory, sorry, chips manufacturer here in Sweden, and they unfortunately said what would be professionally a professional no. That's what they said. So we've reached out to a lot of other companies who I haven't heard word from. Omar hasn't
No, we
heard
have
word
one.
from.
We have one. NetOnNet, when they told us that they would be open
Oh, yeah.
for a future collaboration.
Net is open for a future collaboration. If you don't know, Net is a computer parts slash general tech store. I don't know what to fully describe it as because it's got a lot of tech in it. Let's just say it's got a lot of tech in it for both home use and for recreational. So that's the best way I can explain it. We've reached out to a company known as Treleboy Zobe, and we haven't heard from them for a while. We have reached out to Folketshus, which in English would translate into the people's home or the people's house. And when we were in the meeting with them, they were actually the guy there was actually really happy, really excited to hear about us, see where we'll go. And we eventually then talked to the municipality of Malmö, who then gave us a reference to Spellenshus or Playhouse. And out of all of those, oh no, we also met Esports United, which is a big thing here in the locality of Skåne. I believe the locality of Skåne. We've met with the CEO, and we have met the now this what was the term that he used? What was the term that he used? Yes, the now dissolved Malmö Esports CEO or like co-founder, which was sad to hear that they have disbanded. we have met a lot with them, and we have so many ideas. We learn so much from them. We also opened up our social medias, which is like, as you can see down here, the Twitter, the Instagram, the TikTok, and the YouTube. All of those are open. We're beginning to post content on all of them slowly but surely. The Twitch is officially open, which is going to serve as our tunnel, I guess, of content. Our tunnel, quote unquote. We're not really using it as a main form of content because it's going to have to spread out. Like, we're going to have to take clips from here, put them into YouTube. We're gonna have to record on the background, put that onto YouTube, take snippets, put that into TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and so on. There's a whole logic system going into it, like a funnel of content, so to speak. We have also actually we there is a planned meeting going along. I'm not going to say when, and I'm not going to say where yet because we're not sure, but we are going to have another meeting with the Spell and Sus as much as possible, and hopefully at some point down the line we are able to meet again with the Folkets, get something fixed there, get our own room, because the rooms we saw in Folkets was actually super super fun. And for more context, Folkets is a place where people can go to either rent out rooms, or small organizations can have like a room to stay in for as long as Folkets is open. And they open from like late in the afternoon at around like 4 in the evening, 16ish, all the way up to like late into the evening, if I remember correctly. Could be wrong, but they're open for a long time in the evenings. So we have a lot of possibility there to strike when we're going to set up our things. But I'm hoping that we will be able to get access to the building if ever we do end up using their facilities, or you or renting out the place there. We're hoping that we can get access to a room that has fiber capability, because as you know, esports isn't really only just about equipment. You also need the internet speed, because without proper internet speed you're gonna get fucked in every corner, and that's
Yeah,
just putting it lightly.
like mentioned before, like the difference I feel from just the jump from like around 20 ping, like an average of 20 ping to 60 ping, is immense. And having that solved, just by simply having a proper connection, and the advantage it gives you to your entire team is insane.
Hmm. And it's also nice that we have like a little place to assemble ourselves, gather ourselves in, have a little bit of a get together, have a place where people can recognize us in and go to and be like, oh, that is the place where Odinhus is. That's one of the main things. And where I'm also hoping that if one of these days we can't just stick with the Folkets, I hope that we're able to find an independent place that does house uh, fiber Wi-Fi for us. That's enough, so that we have enough space to put up equipment and whatnot. And as a bit of a note for us as an organization, we have had our first professional CS:GO player who goes by the name of Future.
Right, was
And
they going to join today? What happened to that?
actually, I was about to go into that earlier.
Okay, okay.
So I did say before that there is a possibility, but he doesn't seem like he's the
Ah,
type
small
to
print.
go in. Yeah, there seems to be he seems not to be the type to get along with other people easily. He seems to only want to have a team and go in and out. That's it.
Which is fine.
He seems like that's the kind. Yeah, it's fine, but I think both me and Omar can attest that there is a little bit of a discrepancy here. There's a little bit of an error, because it doesn't seem like he's willing to cooperate with other people, which is what we need as an organization. Wait. Maybe there is gaming places slash computer cafes you can talk to have a place to practice and so on. Yes, actually, that is something I would like to talk on about too. Spellens Hus is connected with Inferno, which is a gaming cafe here in Sweden that's located in Malmö, right in between Malmö Central's train station and Triangle, which is a popular shopping district.
Absolutely banging location. You can get there from basically anywhere.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a smart location, good location too. And if ever
Solid
you
all
get
around.
bored of
Please
game, you
sponsor
can
us.
just actually, if we do get into spelling, okay, this is like my entire plan for our organization or association.
This is short-term goal, by the way. This is
Yeah,
like hopefully near future.
yeah, exactly. And I'm saying this now for the record that Inferno is such a good place to go to, and they have this like whole gaming cage where you guys can have a match in or play together in, and it's such a good place because like you have a lot of possibilities to work together and to play together, and their internet connection is phenomenal. Like I love the people there, I love the vibe, I love the aura, and their equipment is top notch. Spell and Sus has a connection with them, and what I'm planning to do is that you, me, Omar, and one other person has to go over to Inferno, and we're gonna stream live from there. And what we're gonna do is that we're gonna play ranked a ranked game of
COD,
Call of Duty
clarifying,
together. Yeah,
clarifying COD.
yeah, clarifying. Because that one has to be like some trademark. We have to put interest into the game, and since it's only 4v4, it's much easier to manage. At least
Yes.
in my eyes, it's a lot easier to manage, and we're also going to have to train a lot in the communications. What areas are we going to specialize in what modes are we specializing in, what locations or what maps we should specialize in, all of that good stuff. It's going to have to be
Can you
really
just
really focused on.
stream from Inferno? Like, do they have the like, do they allow you to?
We need to talk to them, but
Okay.
once we get into that, I think we can save that for when we're actually live there.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I
Because
guess
this is only a plan.
I guess as long as it's like I guess as long as we give them like publicity, as in this is in my head. Like, they haven't talked to them yet, but I would imagine that they want something like, oh, okay, put the location like on your stream overlay or something, like, oh, this is streamed from here and here. Then I believe it's fine. But I don't know how they work. Maybe this is a complete no-go. We'll have to talk to them.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk to them. But either way, one of my other plans
maybe
for
I can
association.
finally attend a meeting. And maybe university for once is not in the way of that.
Yeah.
By the way,
once
something
everything actually.
something to mention that we forgot to mention earlier. We're all university students. We're all students,
Yeah,
so
we're all practically
we're
university
starting from literally zero. We don't know. None of us has any money to invest anything, and we're building this shit from the ground up. Anyway, you may continue.
And on that note, actually, what I also plan is to have an event held in me and Mark's university, and soon Omar's university. We're gonna have plan on making a local tournament in Malmo University. We actually already have a venue for a tournament, which is kindly given to us by my old school librarian. Sten is his name, and he's offered to host the the library of the old school that I used to go to, that Omar is still in. He proudly sponsored that place as a location for a tournament, and we'd love to take up that chance one day, and hopefully just put up a place to play, have an open house tournament that anyone can go to, play against us, play against each other even. It's going to be a fun time. And I have another plan slated, as I was going to say. I have another plan slated where we join together with the Spellensus and grow our memberships there. It's called networking. Basically, we're going to network with them, and we will kind of work together. Like, okay, they're basically the community manager, not really, but they're going to be called the quote community manager for legal reasons, because like an esports team needs to have some sort of like manager for the community and whatnot, and normally starting esports teams have that with a bigger organization or a bigger association, and that's pretty normal for us. That's going to be a network side of things where we can grow our community, grow our teams, and then we can officially become our own entity, not tied directly to. It's hard to explain, but what I'm getting at is basically we're going to attach ourselves to an organization temporarily, and we're gonna have them for legal reasons as a community manager. They're not going to be involved in our stuff yet, or like fully. They're going to, of course, see our progress and whatnot, see how we're growing, see how we are, expanding our horizons. But this will be where we're going to divide our association into teams, where like we have CS:GO teams, we have Call of Duty teams, Rainbow Six, and so on. And that's where I really want to like hammer away at. I want to build our community there, and then use the networks to help ourselves grow from it, because there is so much room for this organization, our organization slash association, to grow. As Mark said earlier, there is a high demand for this in Sweden, but not enough supply. From what me and Omar
Speaking
were talking.
of which, remember the idea I talked about with you yesterday on stream? Or I don't know if it was yesterday.
Oh no! Yesterday we were high rounding until I had to leave.
Yeah. First of all, on that note, video coming, because I actually completed the challenge. I don't know if you watched till the end, but I actually managed to get to round.
No, I could not.
I managed to get to round 81, so I actually beat the goal I set
saw
for
you
myself.
12.5.
12.5 what?
12.5 hours on Black Ops 3. I saw you.
Oh yeah. And I actually managed to hit the goal that I set, which is 81. And
Nice.
and I'll cut together a video. I want to do some commentary over it and like build it up a little. So it'll take a bit. It won't be tomorrow, but there's a video coming on that anyway. But the
Nice.
idea I was talking about is pinning something on the university pin board for publicity. Remember that? Remember that?
Right. Yeah.
Adding
you
to
told me
that,
about that.
yeah. I don't know if it was yesterday. I don't think it was yesterday, but I told you about
No,
it.
it was
I think.
before the stream. It was before the stream.
All right, yeah. I haven't reached out yet, but I want to add something to that as well, because what we can do now, especially after this podcast, right? And after it's up on YouTube, what we can do is we can go like, oh, hey, we're Odnhus. Follow us on Twitch. You want to know who we are? Go watch the podcast. Go watch this podcast, and there you go. There you have it. It's like, so basically
Yes,
want
sir.
to the adding to the message of like, hey, follow us on Twitch. I want to add like actually like who we are, and without overwhelming someone, I'd just go and be like, hey, if you want to know what you're getting into here, just go to our YouTube, and there you have it.
Yeah, it's either that, or what I like to is we could offer them an extension to contact either one of us. You know?
True. Yeah. I can. I mean, I guess I can. Should we use Discord for that? Should we just get our Discord user in there, or should we like do an email?
I think we could go for both, like Discord and email, just in case if they don't have
Discord
one or the other.
Discord feels more personal.
Yeah.
You know, it's and that's a good thing. I mean that as a good thing. It would feel more personal.
Yeah. Is this Akos? On the Dan?
Yes.
Okay. So
it finally clicked. It finally clicked.
Yeah, it clicked. I didn't know that because I don't know everyone's username on Twitch yet. But yeah, he says here IRL events and revenues is nice. Or probably means venues is nice, but don't underappreciate how much you can do online.
Yes.
Nowadays.
Especially in shit like especially in shit like CS. Like there's Face It, there's weekly tournaments, there's so much stuff you can do online. We do need to have 5 players for it to be first, which is our main struggle right now. To get 5 people into like at a certain time at a certain place or at a certain online tournament. That is our main struggle right now, to get all of these together. But generally speaking, yes, there's a lot to gain online. Like I'm really not deep in COD, but I believe there's a lot of online tournaments for COD as well.
There are a lot of tournaments for Call of Duty, especially like Warzone, like the new ranked mode that was released was proved to be so much fun for the casual community that
I heard it blew up on Twitch. I heard it blew up on Twitch as well.
It was crazy, the blow up. Like, you know how much viewership it got once ranked went live?
Yeah.
It went into the 100,000s. So many people, there is an interest in ranked Call of Duty. There is an interest in competitive Call of Duty, and I want to
I'm really sinister when it comes. I'm really sinister when it comes to this, right? Because when you said, "Oh, it was in the 100,000s," all I could think of that there's like ESL Pro League right now, which is a big CS tournament on, who gets like 100,000 views per stream. I'm just like, but whatever. I'm just like, because that's the only thing I know. And CS:GO is obviously way more. The popularity is like somewhere along the lines of like League of Legends. So it's like not even comparable. But still, like, my sinister me is just like, oh, that's a bit low, isn't it? It's not. It's a lot. No, it's a lot. But yeah,
I understand where you're coming from. Like, I understand where you're coming from in comparison, because again, it's the only thing you know, and plus that's the community.
It's a milestone for COD. So, yeah, it's a milestone for COD though. Like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to talk it down. Like,
that sounded a bit condescending, mate.
Yeah. No, the little brother COD, you're starting to grow up. Nice. Getting your first steps, and it's okay.
No, but in a more serious note, it's actually something that personally I was beginning to hope for. Like Rainbow Six gets also within the 100,000s when they're streaming, and sometimes they hit their average is, I think, 70,000, 65,000.
Sounds about right.
And that's because, like, again, you have to pay for these games, and compared to CS:GO, it's a free game. So obviously the audience reach is going to be way more than what it is for any paid game, given Apex Legends in of itself has a high viewership count, but it has fallen off recently, I think, according, at least I'm looking at Twitch right now, and it doesn't have the viewership it did before.
Just something that came into my mind right now. When I do this stuff at university, I would definitely include Omar in this, because he's such a good talker when it comes to people. I don't think it's far-fetched if I say that you two have a level above me, but Omar is the best overall.
Yeah, of course. Also, you might want to check out Sverok if you qualify, if you get some funding from. Yeah. That is actually one of our plans. We want to talk to Sverok. Sverok is basically one of these fundings for associations / organizations here in Sweden that give you funding based on a criteria.
Oh, okay. So, for example, like gives funding depending on what our reach is. Stuff like that, I assume.
Not really reach. It's more on like, if you are let's say you're your organization in Sweden, right, or association in Sweden, and you're looking for funding to keep your bank account. It's more on how big you are, and
okay,
how many members you have, and so on. Yeah, Ekos here actually explained it way better. It's more on the size.
Size doesn't matter, okay? We're average sized.
Yeah, 7 people, very average.
Listen,
I think that's average size.
Our self-confidence.
Stop it. No, but on a more serious note, yes, Verok is a really good place to also begin with. As for bank accounts, we do need that
do we
too,
have?
but we
Do
don't
we?
have a problem with that
Do
now.
we have?
Yeah, we do.
No,
We do.
but is did the first one answer yet? Without saying
No, there
names.
is nothing from them.
All right, and it's been 9 months.
It's been 9 months
since we tried to get a bank account at a certain bank, which name we will not disclose. They still haven't given us our bank account.
They still haven't given us a call.
Oh, nice, great, okay.
So
cool.
yeah, what happened is I ended up going into my bank and just straight up went, yeah, no, I'm just gonna open up another account there.
Okay, cool. We can that means we can finally set up Patreon and coffee if we want to do that soon, TM.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm sad.
I think we need to explain that though. I think we need to explain that.
We discussed that. We decided that it's a bit better to do it via bank account, just because there's a lot of things. On a business side, there's actually a lot going against PayPal. Like, of course, it's user convenient. It's user convenient for like people. It's like quick and easy, and it's like safe and whatever. But the conclusion we came to is that the risk of PayPal, we can manage with taxes and stuff, but the risk of PayPal just going like snap, you're not we suspect you of
you're no
X
longer
thing.
legible.
Yeah, you're no longer legible, and snapping their finger without giving us a message beforehand and shutting the entire account down. The risk of that, especially in at the size that we're in right now, and in the place we're in right now, it's just too high. So we're for now going to just go with the bank account. Maybe we'll get PayPal along down the line once we have grown a bit. But as of now, it is just the safer play to just straight up go with bank account.
Yeah. And also I personally had some issue with PayPal on my end, and I don't want to talk so much about it, but I have to say, if you set up PayPal as a business account and not as a personal account, it's so much legislative work. Like, you have to charge a person extra if you want to not pay PayPal a tax on the exchange, because there is an exchange tax if you open it as a business account and you don't open it as a personal account. If you open it as a personal account, there is no like proper fee between if you're exchanging, at least not on my personal experience. Like, if you were to send 10 krona, which is like €1 to someone on a personal PayPal account, there is no exchange fee that you have to pay, at least not to my knowledge. But when you have it as a business account, there is an exchange fee you have to pay.
Yes.
Which then they have the right to hold for 21 days, and they have the right to take the money away after 21 days if they prove that, or if they deem your account as suspicious. And
so
apparently there is an exchange fee.
Yeah,
personal account.
Which, by the way, is outrageously I know from my previous work experience, obviously not disclosing the exact amount, but it is a high amount, or higher than just straight up bank account, or even higher than credit card. So it all boils down to the risk versus reward isn't there yet. That's what it boils down to. But coming back to the topic, we're gonna set up PayPal and Coffee as we wanted to. So we finally have we have a like way of our first very basic way of income, essentially.
Yeah.
Or rather of means of people to support us.
Mm-hmm. And of course, it's going to be totally voluntary. We're not obliging anyone. We're not obligating anyone to do it. It's just, of course, an optional thing. If you like want to see us go further, want to help us reach our goals faster, that is, of course, an option.
Threatening them like, give us money if you want to see us go, team. If you want to see it, you better fucking give us money.
Yeah. That's scary.
Yeah.
But
Welcome to your house. May Odin strike you down.
But I'm gonna mention this in passing. Our goals on Patreon/Ko-fi or both in this case is that we're going to raise funding for one jerseys for our players, which is going to be for the meantime. It's going to be us three that you see here in the stream right now slash VOD when it gets uploaded to YouTube. That one is going to be a big thing. We're gonna need jerseys. That's basically our identity. It's going to be our little flagship remark of, oh hey, we are Odnhus. This is what we look like when we have our jerseys. And also, I don't think I ever told you this, Mark, but I also plan on fiddling around a bit with Photoshop and a little bit of video editing because I have a plan when introducing new players into a certain
We can
game.
take a selfie and Photoshop an entire crowd behind us.
I mean that's for you to explore, not for me to do. So, in a more serious note, I plan on doing a little bit of something there to give our new players a grand introduction, or basically to make them feel like they're really welcomed into the community and whatnot.
Make them feel like pro players.
I'm also hoping that we do get more of pro players slash semi pro slash amateur players in our team.
We're gonna start with amateurs.
We're gonna
start
definitely start with amateur. Yeah, definitely gonna start with amateurs because it's going to be a test of time, because eventually amateurs grow into semi pro and then semi pros go into pros. So that whole belief that I have, where like, oh, once you start getting the ball going, it's not gonna stop. That's going to be a trademark of mine for a long time coming forward, up until either these guys throw me out of the organization or something else. I don't know, but that's going to be one of the plans I have. Making something specific for the players, so that, let's say for example, someone wants to enter our Rainbow Six team, then we give them like an introduction video that shows their like esports photo, which is classic standing still, arms crossed, whatever. It's going to be their specific thing. It's going to be kind of like this special memento to give them, and I'm really looking forward to dabbling around with that, fiddling around a bit and seeing what we can do. uh as for our first signed player, we're not really sure about how it's going with him, because we do have some problems on his end. Omar, can you speak for that, or are you busy?
No, I'm here.
Okay. Can you speak on that situation with our first professional player, or do we want to keep it under wraps for now?
No, I think we should keep it under wraps for now, considering he is a member. If he wasn't a member, then yeah, we can say whatever.
Okay, so
but
yeah, keep him safe for now.
Yeah, keep him safe for now. But isn't there any problem with him like signing up for the membership, or is that all sorted out now?
No, I think, as we said, April 1st. Yeah, and then I said, if he can't pay by April 1st, then I would let him go.
Yeah.
Which is fair deadline.
Oh, and for more context, when you hear that payment, it's nothing to be too alarmed about. It's just that here in Sweden you do have like a membership fee that you can post, and because we are an association, it's one of our main forms of income for now. And eventually, when the association turns organization and becomes so big, we will eventually just open it up for free and let anyone just come in, do a little bit of a
It's a
tryout, look what
necessary
they can
evil.
do. Yeah, it's a necessary evil, yeah. And we're also hoping, right? This esports team isn't just an esports team. We also want to open it to content creators. So like Odin, who's much like 100 Thieves, Optic, New York
Phase.
Subliners, they have content creator sides.
Phase,
And I'm
even though
using
they're
these
not
guys
doing too
as
well.
yeah. No, the content creators in 100 Thieves are doing well.
Yeah, those, but Phase specifically.
Yeah,
Anyways.
Phase specifically, yeah. We're not gonna talk about that one.
Yeah, no.
Let's wait for more.
Let's just leave it at their
cards to be put
shit.
down, yeah. Yeah. Let's just
clipping
let's
it, sending
just
it to face, clipping and chipping. Yeah, content creation, right?
Anyway,
As
yes.
of now, I'm streaming quite a lot. Like, not necessarily every day, but every other day. And what I'm trying to do is I came up with that after I actually finished that first challenge yesterday. I'm gonna try to do some weird challenging stuff on the weekends where it's something like, oh, if don't end the stream until done this, like things along those lines. I kind of wanna do that. A lot of fun doing that the first time, so I kind of wanna keep that up. But otherwise, we're Miguel would stream if he had more internet. As of now, it's mainly me. And I stream a lot of SCS when we play with friends. I stream a lot of COD, Modern Warfare. I'm trying to do some other niche games as well, just like whatever it's just kind of like variety streamer. It's just kind of like what
Wait a second, hold on.
we feel like. Yeah,
Are y'all streaming zombies?
yeah, I was.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bro, I
I'm
streamed
not
for
gonna lie
like
with y'all.
I streamed for like 12 hours yesterday. Miguel joined me as well.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm goated at zombies.
Oh, brother, let's see it. Let's fucking see it. Once you have a
I
a
would
gaming
honestly-
rig set up, let's see it.
No, in all honesty, right? Mark knows how long I've been in the zombie scene. Mark sees how I play. It just is unfortunate that I have such bad ping at that time.
Yeah, I'll make sure
Because
to make you
there's
look
so-
really good in the video.
No,
No,
you
but-
don't have. You don't
with
have to.
with
I've
all
completed-
with every 15 downs you had.
No worries, bro. Don't even fucking hide it. Just throw me in there. Throw me into the shit.
All
Let
right,
them talk
brother.
shit about
When the
me.
CEO goes just talk shit about me, you bet your ass I'm gonna use that opportunity.
No,
Completed.
you are free to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not.
No,
I'm not gonna,
I
I'm
never
not gonna
planned it.
stop
I
you.
never planned on holding back anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
like-
what you're saying, Omar?
I've completed Easter eggs from every map from Call of Duty Black Ops 2 to Cold War.
There we go. That's
That-
something I haven't
I
even
mean-
done.
I mean, I've done all Black Ops Cold War Easter eggs. Black Ops 3 I've touched on. Never really completed Shadows of Evil. Black Ops 4 I'm not touching that game's Easter
Shadows
eggs
of
because
Evil is
there's
the
so
one-
many fucking there's so many steps, I swear. There's so much RNG.
Shadows of
Black
Evil is
Ops
actually the
2
one that I
I've played.
finished. Or like I not finished,
Really?
but I've done it solo. As far as solo goes, there's like 2 or 3 steps. There's like 2 steps and like a boss fight that is not accessible in solo that you have to do in co-op. And I just haven't done those
Wait, huh?
last 2 steps. Yeah, I don't know. You can't do the Easter egg solo. You can't do it.
You can.
No. You
Yeah, you
you
can.
can mod it. You could
No,
go-
no. There are people who have speedrun the Easter egg on solo.
Yeah, it's because it's modified.
None of them are modded.
It's in a private match.
Yeah, but none of them are modded though. Modded speedruns don't count in the
Alright,
zombies community.
alright. Just try it yourself and see how that works out.
You
think
have
you
to.
can-
You either have to
you
co-op Easter eggs, or you have to do it with more than 2 people.
Yeah, there's some of them.
No, you
Impossible
can
to do- It's
solo.
impossible to do it alone. But
You
on the
can
newer
solo them. No, the newer games are easier to solo. I've soloed Cold War's Easter eggs.
Yeah, they are soloable.
Black Ops 4 ones, they're terrible to do solo because there's so much
Yes.
memorizing you have
Yes,
to do.
yes.
Like,
Fuck that.
but Black Ops 3 ones, you can solo them. There's people who solo their Gorod Krovies, their Revelations, the Reisendrache, the Giant, Shadows of Evil. You can solo them. It is proven that you can solo them.
Yeah, I'll just let it sit here. Let's just leave it
No,
over
I mean
here.
Yeah, you can search it. I swear, there are
I know.
solo Easter egg speedruns.
I know what you are talking. I know which ones you are talking about. And these are if you start off Call of Duty Black Ops 3 right fucking now, and you just hop into Shadows of Evil solo, you cannot complete the Easter egg right now.
What are the steps anyway? What specific steps require you to be co-op?
After you've gotten this red sword, there's supposed to be after you got the sword upgrade, and you've done the whole shislabang with the banner. After you've done the step with the banner, where like you have to bring the banner to the four locations. After that, what should happen is there should be the big ass worm in the middle of the map. And you would have to drive the gondola and like whatever. That's the next step. But in solo, as of right now, if you and me would hop into Shadows of Evil solo right now, this worm would not spawn. It would not be there. You can. I don't know how they do it in the solo Easter egg runs. I don't know if it's like a custom map. I don't know if it's like a setting that they have to like enable. Whatever it is, you have to do a certain thing before you can complete it solo. Because otherwise the worm will just not spawn.
Wait.
I've been there twice now. Done that.
I'm searching this up.
It is not completable from the get-go. Solo. If you, I don't know if you need 4. Do you need 4 for it? I don't know.
No. There have been 2.
It does say you're able to complete the Easter egg solo.
Yeah, that step alone you can skip it by using anywhere but here. The gobblegum of anywhere but here.
What?
You can skip that step because like there's this discrepancy, right? That Shadows of Evil is the first Easter egg in a long time that if you try to do it solo, it's achievable. Mainly because that there are ways that you can do it in solo without having to mod it and without having to use like extreme means to an end. Like there are lots of these steps that do allow you to do it solo. And you can reach the boss fight. The boss fight alone, you just need apparently according to a gameplay that I did see for a speed run, the death machine was used against the boss, against the Shadow Man, because he had the gobblegum of raindrops, so I believe it was.
Whatever. Not a discussion that is necessarily I can't talk anymore. Jesus Christ. What's going on right now? I just had the last 5 minutes, I don't know, it's just been like exactly. Is there anything
Hold on.
Yeah.
I just want to say this here. The reason why that one part that you're saying after the boss fight, because once you kill the Shadow Man, the next part that is the main conclusion, canonical conclusion to the Easter egg,
the cutscene
is the giant gate worm.
Yes.
But in solo, that doesn't happen because canonically speaking, when you do it solo, that also means Richtofen only shows up to pick up the what was it again? The Apple of Eden, I think it was.
Yes.
He just snatches it from one of the gatekeepers, not one of the giant gate worms. He just snatches it from gatekeeper, and it's done. That's all she wrote.
I would be petty enough. I would be petty enough to live stream the Shadow of Evil solo Easter egg while you're watching, and you guiding me through it. Having you guide me through it.
I don't know the Shadows of Evil Easter egg enough.
Just Google it. Just fucking Google it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
I'd be petty enough to let you Google to let you guide me through it and see how that works out. I'm that petty.
I mean, like I said, it's you can solo it. It's just that one part is missing. I only said that you can solo it. So
Is there anything else that we forgot to talk about organization-wise? Like, is there any updates that have been happening recently that maybe have been gone under the radar? I'm not trying to hint at anything. I'm genuinely like, did we forget anything? Because we are again, like usually, we are heading towards the 2-hour mark, and if anything is to, if there's anything to say, it would be great to say now, because we're heading to an end.
Oh yeah, definitely planning a lot more content to stream towards the channel. Just to give it more variety in it, so that it's not just like stuck in the same two games or whatnot. We definitely want to try and do lots of things for the channel, like maybe try some co-op games in the future, or maybe we'll stream some solo games on our separate channels. Whatever the case will be, definitely we're going to add more content. Like one of the games that I'm very much looking forward to doing is the
Gartic phone.
Do we want Gartic phone? Are you sure you want Gartic phone?
No, I don't.
No, we don't. No, we don't. One of the games that I'm looking forward to actually playing and or streaming is Resident Evil 4, the new one, the remake that's coming out in 5 days. Actually, I'm
better get your internet
personally
fixed
very
in 5
excited.
days.
Oh no, I'm gonna install it, and I'm gonna probably, if streaming doesn't work, I'm gonna record it, just upload it to probably my YouTube channel and the Odnhus channel, just so you know.
You can
We get different
edit.
shit.
You can like you don't need to subtitle everything. Like I said, that's absolute pain hell, and you never want to do subtitles. It longer form content.
Oh no, I'm subtitling.
But
yeah, I'm
bro,
subtitling
don't.
things like
It'll never be uploaded. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Just cut it down. Just pick out the cherries. Just pick out the cherries and upload. Like, trust me, bro. Been there.
Yeah, no, I know how to do that.
It took me fucking probably like 3 or 4 months for like a 20-minute highlight video of my Counter-Strike, and it's just what ended up happening is there have been more and more clips piling up, and I've been trying to keep up with it, but the problem was the subtitles were holding me back so much because they were so much work, and at some point were so exhausting that I'm just like, all right, fuck it, I have to cut this video shorter than I wanted to be, because it's just what a pain.
To be fair, Resident Evil is a single player title, so that's gonna definitely be way easier to like cut down, especially if I'm not focusing on gameplay. If I'm not let's playing it, I'm going to definitely do more like reaction shit, like cut it down, cherry pick it to where I reacted the funniest, or wherever I reacted like the extremist too, and I don't know. Probably just subtitle it there. Maybe go in a call with friends and stream it over to like somewhere like Discord,
Yes.
and just let them watch me get scared the shit out of, because Resident Evil is one of my favorite games, and I love it. I love it.
If it's like co-op Discord, I'd actually be up for watching it.
Oh, definitely. I'll do that whenever I do get the game. I'll install it, and I'll overnight install it too. I don't care, because like I've done that with Resident Evil 8. I have speedrun Resident Evil 8 while getting all items. My fastest speedrun is an hour 29 while collecting all items.
Stop flexing, brother.
No, I'm just
No,
very proud
I'm
of it.
joking. Yeah. Reasonable.
On my first gameplay of Resident Evil 2, like the average time I think for many people was like 8 to 10 hours, but on my first gameplay I almost got an S rank, because I've seen gameplay but I don't remember it so much to the extent that I know where everything is. It's just I knew how to get around certain places, and I knew certain things about the game that I played it in sub 6 hours. I don't remember my time, but I played it under 6 hours or a little bit over 6 hours, and I'm very, very proud of the time that I've committed there. I may dedicate some time to actually like play some Resident Evil. Since my internet is bad, I can just like go into single player games and enjoy them. So what I'm thinking is that maybe in our free time, I'll definitely join a call. I'll just sit there, play some Resident Evil, let you guys see the absolute monstrosity when I get scared the shit out of,
Yeah. All right.
But definitely one of the freeform contents. Just a last note. One of the freeform contents we're definitely gonna do is try to include more. And when Omar gets his own gaming rig, and when everything is all said and done, that we can all finally stream together properly, there's gonna be a lot more cooperative content, especially if my shit is much more better. Really, I'm hoping that a lot of our plans are going to go forward, and I have faith that a lot of it will go forward, and I'm very excited for the future of this association and seeing where it goes. And hopefully we hit when we hit the main stage and get our names in the leaderboard, it's going to be one of our most breathtaking moments in life.
Yeah, let's do it, brother. That concludes our
Amen.
first podcast.
That's going to YouTube.
That's the first one that's going to YouTube, 5th overall, but whatever. We're fixing stuff as we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you guys around. We usually do this podcast around Sunday, the time we stream today, from 2 to 4 CET. And catch us next week again when we have hopefully updates. If not, we're just gonna talk trash on each other for 2 hours. That's fine too.
Yeah, that, or maybe would we like to include like some just random talk about shit we found throughout the week?
Yeah,
Because
of course.
I've discovered so much shit throughout the week. I want to just share it and just like see you guys' opinion on it. So
yeah, of course, get like a topical podcast, like I don't know, Discovery podcast, whatever. I just like go that. No, but yeah, catch us live then, and see you around.
yeah, see yous.